What? You ever get the feeling that feelings are just simply feelings hiding from other feelings? There you go. Sorry, just trying to make it right. Sorry, oh dang, sorry friends. These darn earthquakes. They're everywhere, these earthquakes. Can't live with them, can't afford to move. Hi, my name is Story Crab. We're listening to my friend Sleepy Seahorse, as usual. And I came here to finish this drawing. It's a pretty big drawing. Pretty big. But I have the top to do here. I've got a job to do. And by gosh darn dang, I'm gonna do it. So, I was curious. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? For the person who has the answers. They're not here yet, but I can sub for them if you want. I can do my best to give off some of these answers if you had any questions. Otherwise, I have a job to do, and that's to doodle. A little bit of doodle, and to encourage others to do the same. You know, because not only am I an artist, but I'm a fan of the arts. If the art is on fire, then I'm the fan that puts it out, baby. That's just how it is. I say, if you're going to be obsessed with something, go in 1000%. Try not to touch the side. I'm getting really close. Getting really close to making a mistake. But that's what happens when the pen bleeds. You've got to follow the blood. It's true, it leaves a trail. And if you're a vampire, or an artist, then you might know a thing or two about blood, and how it moves. Would you all like to dance? Well, I'm playing the right jams for it. This is called Jam Dance 3000. Slam Jam Dance. So for the vampires and the artists out in the audience. Happy Sunday, Australia, and to the people that are in those neck of the woods in this world, this strange world that we live in. Everybody else, it might be Saturday still for you. Happy Saturday to you. Right. I'm just trying to make ends meet, like quite literally, right here, right now. I'm just trying to make some ends meet. Boom. So I can just keep going with it. Yeah, it's probably as good as I'm gonna get. As I said before, I came here to do two things. but I forgot what they were, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Fair enough. I was thinking I could maybe do something like this right here. Some kind of bulb. Something like that. I like to really give an edge to a circle, a thickness in the old cooker, but that way you can come back to it later and say, golly gosh darn dang, I'm glad I did that. Right? Most of the time it's just a holler bang anyways. Doesn't last about 2 or 3 minutes before you give up the ghost, and then you gotta rinse off, take a shower, eat some cereal, breakfast of champions and such. Then you've got to get out there and you gotta try again. And again. Be true to yourself, that's what I say. Be true to your heart, and everything else will fall right into place. Eventually. And perhaps even along the way, once you look back at it and you're older, you'll think, holy colly, I had it good for a while there, didn't I? Because it got much worse. Yeah, it's a hollygollop, that's what I always say. And I'm here to shake hands with the devil. And walk on the sand with the art gods that came before and will be here long after we're gone. I say goodbye to mortality. This is the one shot we got at it. When they say you live twice, what they mean is you live once as a human, and then again as some kind of animal, or mineral. Either way, you're doomed. But you'll always learn something. And so when you move on to that next consciousness, sometimes you're gonna be a rock in one life until you're pulverized. You're gonna move across the galaxy. Start a family on Orion's belt. Why not? But you've got to play it safe, kiddo. You've got to be smart. If you're gonna be a rock, you've got to be somewhat smart. That's all I'm trying to say. As my accent fades. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know where that came from. I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. You're listening to STORIE Grub 99.9 FM. The Rock. The Rock. That's actually kind of funny. Just something sitting there. All right. Welcome to Art Club, everybody. My name is unimportant. First rule of Art Club is we don't talk about Art Club. Second rule of Art Club, if you're gonna talk about it, say good things, just say good things in case anybody else wants to join. Third rule, don't ever contradict me. Other than that, have fun. Make some friends, have some fun. Pull up a seat. This pen still's got some inks in it. I'm quite satisfied. That reminds me, I heard a really funny joke earlier today. I remember it was the pretty much like the best joke I've heard in a really, really long time. It was pretty darn funny. But I forgot what it was. Oh well. It's coming along. So right now I'm just adding texture. Some stars, some flowery looking things. Ancient constellations that mattered to nobody because they were on the wrong side of the universe. Well, hello, Savage. How far out thou, my love? I hope you're doing well. Feeling well. I hope everything is well. I hope there is water near you, and it is in a well, and the well is clean. The well has been reinforced with cleanliness. I hope that for ye. I'm doing very well, thank you. I say well because I've got a double well, and instead of saying two wells, I say well. It doesn't make any sense because I'm the only one that knows that, so when I actually say that, and people's faces get all confused and distorted, I'm always acting like I'm surprised, like, what, you never heard well? And they're like, what are you saying? You're disgusting, you sucker fish, you bottom feeder. And I say, that's just my handle on TikTok, what are you talking about? And then we all start laughing and they throw money at me. It's quite great. Degrading and great at the same time. I'm lost in admiration. sunken like a beetle at the bottom of the ship. Right? I can't even start. Can't even go no further. It's not making any sense anymore, anyways. What's up, Gordon? Hi. Holler back. Holler right back. Hello, baby. Oh, I'm just out here hustling, bustling, and rush, there's got to be another word. Hustling, bustling, and wrestling. Wrestling, yeah, because you gonna rustle up some taters or something like that. Rustle up some crawdads. We used to do that as a kid. We used to go to this like. There was all these pastures where I grew up, in one of the places we grew up, anyways, and there were all these different pastures on other people's land, I'm sure, but we would just go under the fences in the canals that connected all these properties, and like walk in. We didn't realize it at the time, but it was like the mud that we were walking in was just piss and cow crap. But that's just country. We'd just go out for hours, be gone for hours, and I was like 5 years old, 4 years old, and we'd go out and just find dead stuff and all sorts of weird things. Lots of dead stuff. My brother had a tape recorder he would take with us and like tape. He was about 7 or so. Up north of where I live right now on the I-5, there's a place called Williams. And I grew up outside of Williams, about 2 or 3 miles outside of Williams, towards the foothills. And we lived like right at the base of the foothills. And so when I was growing up, in there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened at this house. It was like this ranch house out in the middle of nowhere. Swear to God, that the nearest ranch that you could see was like a mile away. It was crazy, but it was beautiful, And we used to just go out. There was 2 barns on our property and like this little weird house that my brother broke all the windows out of and stuff. My brother was a little maniac. He was a little pyro. I just used to follow him around like a duck. Hello, Tsunami. Hello, Tony. Nice night for a walk. Yes, nice night for a walk. Must be laundry day. No court. What does he say? No, shit. What does he say? I'm trying to quote Terminator, but I can't remember exactly what Bill Paxton says right there. Laundry day. Nothing clean, right? Yeah, that's it. Nothing clean, right? This guy's 1 beer short of a 6-pack. Funny saying that to Arnold, because Arnold had a big 6-pack at the time. And it was right there for them to see. Just a strange thing for somebody to say. To Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tony, clickety-clackety right back at you. Mm-hmm. What music is that? This is my friend Sleepy Seahorse. It's on his YouTube channel. It's copyright free, so I just listen to it all the time. This is a series. This is like the 3rd album in a little series that he did. Each album has about 12 songs on them. But yeah, Sleepy Seahorse, Starlight Ghost, Volume 3. And it's just a bunch of cool music like this. And I used to listen to this a lot when I would draw out here. But then this stuff led me into his like other albums where he actually sings and does all this other stuff too. And his lyrics are really good. An old buddy of mine from Boise. He's on I have a list of like 5 people that if I were to ever like kind of come into some kind of money, I would like give if I became like rich overnight or something like that. I have 5 people that I would instantly give a shit ton of money so they could take time off of whatever they're doing for like a year to pursue their art or whatever, you know. Whether it's recording or painting. This guy's one of them. And I would love to be in this guy's band. His name's Joey, by the way. Funny dude. I was telling the story the other night, but we used to play. He used to go up there on stage at these venues in Boise, and he would book gig like shows and stuff. But he would just go up there and play the track, and then he would sing to it live and stuff here and there. But it was a lot of lip syncing and him singing, mixing with it live. And me and my band would be behind him in ski masks and all these weird clothing, and we're playing these like weird electronic instruments and acting like we're actually playing the songs. And people were jamming to us, like we'd go out into the audience and stuff, and and they thought we were actually like they were playing these like weird little keyboards that had lights on them and shit. It was so much fun. And Joey's just like having these like mental breakdowns up there on stage. I think that they were real. And that's the wonderful thing about art. Because something you can just let off so much steam, whether it's like through poetry or music or just like visual art, or even like being there for it, like being at a show and feeling the music and being a part of it. It's quite a magical thing, and it deserves our attention. So this is the top of the head, so I gotta kind of wrap this part up. I'm just gonna do this. I think volume 1 is my favorite of these albums. I used a few of his songs in my Matrix movie, and then I also I made the lounge where Story Grub. I used to go live last year, and the lounge in my art club parody is called the Sleepy Seahorse Lounge. Always trying to boost my buddies, my genius friends. We all have those friends in our lives, kind of pop up out of nowhere. You know them your whole life. Maybe you even take it for granted, but they're just like secret little geniuses, and like nobody has any idea. And it's always cool to have one of those at least a few. I have several friends like that, and just people like that in your back pocket, because you never know when you could scratch each other's back. Oops. See, it's coming together. Antonio, you're doing great. You're doing perfect. Perfecto. I know 2 languages, my friend. Hello, Sama. I know 2 languages. I'm doing some kind of accent right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm being a little bit racist right now. Lo siento. Okay. Huh? My bad. But still, I was trying to say that I know 2 languages. One of them is English, and the other is bad English. I've been waiting to use that one since, 1979, the year I was born, and I finally got to use it. Thank you, Antonio. I'll be here all night. If you wanted to come over and play racquetball, I would really appreciate it. I'm just joking around. I'm being a dork. Antonio, where are you from? Are you from Italy? Are you from East LA? The Bronx? Cuba? Are you from Spain? Are you from Mexico? ¿Cómo se dice where are you from in español? Is it no, where are you going is donde vas? Where are you from? From. How do you say it? I wish that I could just hit something on like a button on my throat and it could go, it would just like, and it would just spit out the Spanish, that'd be awesome because you could just be bilingual. You could just ask people questions in Spanish just easily, or whatever language. I just happen to really like Spanish. Always have. Hablo español. You do it, Daniel? Mamma mia. Sao Paulo. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Cool. You've been here before. I recognize your name now. I recognize you. So is that wait, is Brazil what's the language in Brazil? Oh, Espanol? Hey Robert. Sour. I'm a sour sorry story, that's for darn sure. I was kidding. You work for the OPS? I work for the UPS. I'm just kidding. I worked at UPS at a hub in Portland, Oregon for about 2 months when I was 27. Back in 2007. You do the math. It was a disgusting place. It ran 24/7, so it never got cleaned. And you would go home at the end of the day and you would like take a shower because you were so dog ass tired, and you would be blowing your nose in the shower, just be black snot coming out your nose because it was just all that crap you were breathing in the trailers and all over the hub. It's like 1,000 people worked out there. It was insane working at that place. It was like a city. But I was one of those guys that pulled boxes off of like these little ramps. What are they called? I forget what they're called off the top of my head. Just like the tracks that the packages come down, they come down right into the truck, and you just gotta stack them up as fast as you possibly can until and like nice and tight, like each row. There's like a science behind it all. And I spent a week in a classroom before I ever went out to load a truck, like learning how to like bend right and do all this stuff, and how to pack the trucks, and it was super, yeah. And then I had to take like a safety class for 30 days, and I graduated the safety class, and then 2 weeks later I just quit because I just hated going out there and I hated the people I worked with, so I just never went back. I was kind of notorious for that. I would get jobs and then just not show up. so, I don't mean to, because I think that's a jerky thing to do, but I was also, I'm kind of like, sometimes I can be quite a prick. Well, I think it's some kind of anxiety. And it's like this embarrassing, uncontrollable thing where I get like paralyzed. I just can't do something. Like I can't call somebody, I can't move. I don't know what to do next. All I know is that I don't want to go back. It's so strange. But it's a paralyzing anxiety that I have to deal with. It's gotten a lot better over the past few years, but it has to get worse before it gets better, One of those things. Conveyor belt, thank you, Robert. Jeez. Oh, God. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, there were like these big old conveyor belts, and then that would like have all the packages on it, and these people would be like, scanning them up on top and sending them down toward like through the zip codes and stuff. So they'd go down to different trailers based on the zip codes, and then each trailer would have like a belt coming right down into the, you could pull it right up down into the trailer, like way down into it, so you don't have to like walk so far, and then you just push it back the more it goes. But sometimes the packages are coming so fast, you have to just freaking just start like throwing them, and it was very, very stressful. And you have to scan each package and make sure there's no packages that are going to the wrong zip code. And then your instructor, the person for the first few weeks or whatever, they throw ones in there, to see if you would catch it or not. So they would like try to trick you. And so like a few times, like I just scanned one and put it in there, and then the guy came over and he's like, "You just scanned the wrong one, man. Like, gotta watch out." So it's like it's kind of a stressful thing. Imagine it takes a certain kind of person. I'm just more chill than that. Like I don't work in that well into that. I mean, I can. Back then, I could actually work, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that kind of work. It was just really stressful. And I had to take 2 buses just to get out there, because it was so far out. It was there's a place called Savi Island, and good lord, I lived downtown, just right a few blocks from downtown, in the southwest, in Portland. And if you look at Portland on a map and you look at Savi Island, I had to take 2 buses to get out to that shit, and it was just like, god damn. Then you're trapped out there, because I like the idea of like getting a job in town, and then just being able to walk home if I needed to. You know what I mean? Like not having to solely rely on 4 buses and a freaking donkey to get my ass home or something. I'm the kind of person that even when I have a car, I'm like, okay, it's a lot different in this area right now where I live, because you really do have to have a car where I live in California. But in Portland you don't. And I like the idea of just if I my car broke down, or if I want to be just far enough away from work, or where I want to work, just in case I need to walk, basically. And I walked all over Portland. It's the best city to walk in, believe it or not. Even 82nd, everybody makes so much fun of that. It's so weird. Yeah, people talk about I saw this stupid video. This guy is saying like, "Yeah, we'll come out to 82nd Street, and then tell me how cool you think Portland is," or something like that. And I'm like, I used to fucking shop on 82nd. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it's the most ridiculous thing. I have friends that live on 92nd. What? I mean, yeah, but you gotta watch yourself everywhere. But it's like, it wasn't. It's not. It's just so. I don't know. I guess there's hogwash everywhere. Can't control that. Can't change that, right? There's gonna be hogwash everywhere, my friends. I'm just gonna put a little crescent moon there. Is it not focusing? Or is it focusing on my hand? Yeah, there we go. Portuguese. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hey, Robert, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Sorry, I missed that message. Sometimes I feel, too, that I'm mourning a life that I never had. Kind of gets to me. I kind of thought that I would be that person that was sort of, by this time in my life, sort of successful, and I would have been able to provide for the people that I love. I thought I'd be there by now. But life had other plans. That doesn't mean you gotta stop living or anything like that, or you have to stop trying. It's only just helped me focus on what I feel like is, for me anyways, like my purpose in this life and on this rock, no matter what. And my purpose is what I'm doing right now. Talking to cool people about art and making art. It's the most terrifying and awesome thing that has ever happened to me. Because I could have been a doctor, I could have been a contender, I could have been a boxer, I could have been a mobster. But instead I became an artist. Or it became me. Because I didn't even choose this life. It chose me. That was my stomach, because I'm starving. It definitely chose me. And so in that the best way that I can show it appreciation is to honor it and dedicate my life to it. And that's why it can get, and how it can get so lonely too. Because not many people want to hang out or be with anybody that it constantly has their head in the clouds. People say, even I have said, that you can't live there all the time, and I say, why the hell not? Why not? Like, what are you going to do at the end of your life? Wish that you could have been more serious? Wish that it all could have been more professional? Perfect? Or what would you wish for at the end of your life that you had more of? Besides time, you know, besides youth, besides maybe a second chance. Just one more chance to tell that one person that one thing, or to draw that one thing, or to help that one person out when you didn't, or to punch somebody in the mouth for something they did to you. Life is like a box of chocolates, my friends. If you leave it in a hot car, it's gonna all melt together. It's gonna be a bunch of hogwash. The least we can do is honor it and fulfill our passions. Sorry to say, even if your passion is to do harm, that's what this universe is all about. It's about chaos. I think that you'll get what's coming to you, but, you know, whatever. I'm mostly talking about good things, like butterflies eating peanut butter on a hot summer afternoon near the pond growing up, where I used to sing with the horse flies and the juniper bugs. Holy Sunday, that was just one of the best summers of my life. And I would never lie to you all. This is just how it is. This is how we do. Hello, Evan. Dinosaur. Well, if the radio is not going to play the damn music, then I will. Dinosaur. Dinosaur. Whoa, whoa, dinosaur. At my back door, at my back door, yeah. At the back door, there's a dinosaur. You know, that was written out back in the 1700s when Bach was only about 17 years old. I don't think it was in A minor, but I wish it was. It was in D major. Not one of his more popular ones, but yeah, still a banger for the time, the period that it came out in. You are listening to the Cult Classics on Classical Cult like 9.9 FM on your dial. Yeah, you're listening to, this is Jasper Crotchety. I'm going to be your host for the evening. This next song was written by Craig Fitzgerald Jr. Bach. Sorry, folks, I got something in my throat. Jr. Bach. He's in the bathroom right now. We're going to have to wait for him to get out so he can tell us what key it's in. I'm wanting to say that it's in A minor, but I think it's in D major. Oh, here he is. Hello, everybody. My name is... Oh, that was my name again? Yes, that's right. That's right. That's it. Yes, right. And that little Tweety bird at the end there. This one I wrote that when I was about 17, when I was getting off the bus, and a Tweety bird, he came and hit me right on the side of the melon. And that's the day I started drinking, got into quite a fit with drinking. Just to drink having a little Tweety bird blood for the rest of my life. Until about 16 weeks ago, when I finally got off the bloody crap. And I started my life over. Ugh. Tweedledee, tweedledum my ass. Nobody told me life was going to be so rotten. I could have told you that because there's somebody else back soiling anyways with the dino snow and stuff. It wasn't my fault. It was the 80s. Everyone was doing it. Hello, Luna. I spot the Luna. The equilibrium eclipse. How you been, darling? You've been spying on me. You know, Terry's been telling me that you've been coming over to the window over there in Sector 17. No, you're on Moon Base 13, you lucky dove. I think you get all the chocolate milk you want. And you're stirring up all sorts of different recipes over there. I respect that. Much respect. That's what they say up here, to the gods and back. The gardens of the gods. And back. In A minor. I think it is in A minor. Let's just see. Let's just test it. I've got pitch perfect hearing. 1 second there. Yep. That was in A minor. So I guess I was right. Again. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever. I'm a humble human. Humbleized. I was in a Modest Mouse cover band. For many years, we were called the Humble Rat. A Humble Rat. Look us up. It was bloody beautiful. Quite bloody. More bloody than beautiful, but still. Remember those days, Luna? I think Luna played the bass for us. God. I remember those first, like the summer of 2011, that was like, holy crap. I lived in Idaho. Me and another Luna, my other friend Luna, and Bruce were playing Punk Rock Mondays. We played like in June of 2011, in 1 month, we played like 12 shows. We were just saying yes to every freaking gig we could. It was insane. And then everybody got a taste of us, and they're like, "Oh no, we're good. I'm just playing." There's just a lot of sabotage in that band, on my part. It just eventually sort of fizzled out. Plus, I just got tired of playing shows because, like, or at least in Boise, I wanted to take our band on the road, and I just, you know, it's hard setting up tours and stuff, and because even though I had a band, it was still kind of like a one-man band. It was still my project, and it's hard to do all of that on your own. And I was trying to balance a relationship. I was trying to raise a cat. I was trying to raise a cute kitty cat. I'm just kidding. But I mean I was, but I'm not. I wasn't suffering because of it. I was just being a smartass. So, anyways, we have company. Okay, I think they're gone. See, and this is gonna be like kind of like the top of the head, which is kind of nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that because I'm getting annoyed. I am sweating up a storm. The other Luna. It's just crazy. Crazy times. And even though 5 years is a good chunk of time, 5 years doesn't seem like that long ago that I was even in Boise. I moved to Portland at the end of 2020. And now I've been here almost 2 years. In 6 months or so, it'll be 2 years. But it's funny where life takes you. Places you thought you'd never go back to. Never dreamed that you'd go back to. And sometimes doing that turns out to be one of the best things you could have ever done. But that also just comes with following your heart, being safe, knowing who you are, trusting the process of your own creation, of your own rebirth, of your own themes, your own myths, because we all create our own. And we sort of live by them. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Aaron, I like that. Thanks, Chris. Chris? Thank you, Chris. I can't say your first name without wanting to say the T because of Most. Christmas. My brain just wants to keep going. I've been good, Luna. You know, a week inside of my head nowadays is like a year. You know, there's just been so much. Everything is very different still. And it's been quite an interesting, wonderful, terrifying time. Lonely, happy, you know, like everything. It's been interesting. And I'm just constantly like overwhelmed at how cool people can be just out of nowhere. Like when you think that people, you know, when you start doing the thing where, oh man, everybody hates me, or everybody sucks, people suck, which is, you know, as a whole, as a species, maybe, you know, in certain times, yeah, we do suck, but like I was sort of saying last time I went live, it's just that there's so many cool people out there, and there's so many people out there doing like good things, you know, making good choices, and they're like, I'll run into. That's why I kind of hate when people just like throw around like labels, or like judging an entire group of people based on like the actions of a few, because I have known people from all walks of life, rich, poor, black, white, whatever the hell, illegal, legal, and all that shit. And every one of them has taught me something, and every single one of them is a better person, in my opinion, than me. You know, they're better than me, especially in the certain situations that they are in. And I'm super fucking privileged to have, you know, what I have. Um, and some people have far less and glow with life, you know? They just exude this cosmic thing. B-52's reference. And it's a beautiful thing, you know, it's like it's humbling to have known so many wonderful people, you know, that do so many good things. For no apparent reason, for no other reason than just to do it, you know. I think that's it's worth. It's like Sam says in Lord of the Rings, you know, that there is still some love left in this world, and it's worth fighting for, you know. Cheesy as hell, but very true. Mm. And those who would mock that need to think about what they love and what would happen if it was gone. And how it's so important that others have a chance to experience that. It can, art and love, can move mountains. Can change humans. Can change everything. There's a frequency that we can tap into, but sometimes it's that we're afraid to do it. Some kind of ancient, primordial frequency. The ancients were able to tap into it just fine and create art when they shouldn't have been able to. The kind of art that they were doing that was changing the world, that was literally propping humans up from the underground. All right, let's get serious just for a second. Like, go backward tappy, like, think about that kind of stuff. And then when they left that site alone. When they left it, they just buried it. And it's just this humongous, ancient, ceremonial palace thing. And they just buried it. And it stayed buried for like 1 million years. I'm a scientist. Just kidding. Okay. Easter Island is crazy too, yeah. Samwise. It's true. Basement turning it into a Hobbit Hollow. Gosh, yeah. I've seen Lord of the Rings. We used to, back when the movies were still coming out, I owned Two Towers, just the regular theatrical cut. And I used to watch that movie. I would get home from work and watch it like twice every night for 2 years. I've probably seen Two Towers more than I've ever seen any movie in my life. And I own the box sets, like all the extended cuts and stuff. Which I was just talking with a friend a while back about that, where it would be so cool to watch those extended cuts in the theater. Because, it's cool having them and all, but you have to like switch the disc to watch the other one and stuff, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I just want to be able to watch them all the way through, I think that like a marathon would be awesome. I know my butt would hurt at the end, but still. You could like bring your blanket and a pillow and like, just curl up and fall asleep. The first Lord of the Rings, I must have seen like 12 times, 15 times in the theater. I was in Eureka, California when that movie came out. Harry Potter and Spider-Man came out around the same time as well. So it was an awesome time to be going to the theaters. IMAX? Yeah, I know. The first one would be so cool to see again in theaters, like if it was the extended cut, because it's only like like 12 or 20 minutes worth of stuff, But some of it's really cool and like crucial almost. And then watching all those behind the scenes was really cool too. Back in the day, I haven't watched those in a long time. So this is like the top of the head. I'm just gonna put a little wart right there. I used to skateboard over to the movie theater to watch all of those movies. I was with this girl at the time. We lived in this little one-bedroom apartment in downtown Eureka, and we both had jobs. And the apartment was like $250 a month. It was ridiculous, the price. And so we just had a ton of money, and we would just go and see movies all the time. And we bought like a VCR and go and rent movies and stuff. This is back when, yeah, VHS was still a thing. 2002. It's like I've lived all these stupid, weird lives. But we used to skate. She would ride the bike, and I was learning how to skateboard, kind of. I never got any better, is why I say it like that, because I could kind of stay on it. But Eureka had really good streets all the way to the movie theater. And then we'd watch Spider Man or Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Like, it's like, I'm the kind of person that if I've seen a movie twice, I can kind of like just memorize it. I have it like memorized almost. Like, I know what's happening next. I'm like, okay. I can, so it's good for like if you want to make jokes or something, whisper something in the person's ear in front of you watching the movie. They're gonna say this next. Just watch. I've seen this. Watch. Check this out. This is the best part. Who are you? Doesn't matter. Just oh, check this out. Watch. Dollar movies. Oh, in Boise, hell yeah. Like you go on a Tuesday. I think we did that once, but it was just so like there was like 1,000 kids there, and it was like just a whole different experience. Um, but yeah, I remember when like back when I was a kid, my sister and I lived in Davis, and we would go and see movies all the time too. We'd scrounge up $6 because it was like $3 to go see a movie, and somehow like every day for like a month out of the summer that I was down there visiting, um, we managed to get like $6 every day so we could go like watch a movie. Sometimes it was the same movie over and over and over. Like the summer, it was 1990, I think, when Total Recall came out, and we must have seen that movie 10 times in the theater. My brothers and sisters and I, and then my brother would let us all in. Like he would get a ticket, and then wait for the lights to go down, and then go to the door and like let us all in. We did that so many times, and we never got caught. Came close a few times. It felt like, anyways. Swear to God, we were like the Goonies. We all just had these like cool. My stepdad actually, the dad to my sisters, like he in our garage, he built bikes in the garage. So he like built me like this awesome like BMX sort of bike with like a, old school brakes, like a squeeze brakes and stuff too. And it was like a little tank. And then we all had these like cool like weird hybrid bikes, and we just mob around town, breaking all the rules and stealing candy and divvying it up. It just everything was just it was great. It was great. We'd run into other like hoodlum kids and stuff and run from them sometimes because they were bigger than us. We always knew where to go because the shortcuts. We knew every like inch of the city. We could like ditch other kids like nobody's business. Man in the Iron Mask. Ooh, at the Egyptian? You know when they did I don't know if you know Luna or are familiar with it, when they did, what was it, like the horror festival, horror in Boise, a few years ago. Well, it would have been probably like 2019 or something like that. Joey, actually from Sleepy Seahorse, Joey got me a free pass to it because in my music videos, I would always put like horror characters into it and make them like these weird little horror movies and stuff. And like Michael Myers and stuff, because my brother Gabe would dress up like Michael. And so Joey got me onto this panel where I got to like talk about my DIY music videos with two other like filmmakers and stuff, and people were like asking me questions about my music videos, and I was like, I don't know, I just work with what I got and start it and finish it. That kind of thing. And if somebody wants to help me or be in it, cool. If not, I just do it. And they played one of my videos too and stuff. And but anyways, Joey got me because of that. He was able to get me a free pass. So I went and saw Return of the Living Dead at the Egyptian. And I tell you what, if there's one movie I've seen more than any other movie in my freaking life, it's Return of the Dead. I've probably seen that movie 500 times. and it was magnificent. That place is so beautiful. Yeah, and I think that's right. Her last name's Quigley. Is it Leona Quigley? I'm probably not pronouncing her name right, but Leanna Quigley, the girl that played Trash. She was there, and then after the movie was done, she did like a Q&A, and it was just really surreal because she's been in like a bunch of like B movies and like horror movies and stuff like that over the years. Um, she's like an icon, so it was like so neat. That's another reason why it's cool to have friends in low places, like Joey was able to hook me up with the pass so I can go and see stuff for free. I think we actually played a show down there too one night during the horror festival. There was like, I forget what the venue was called, but it wasn't one that we usually played at, and it was a really strange crowd. But we were strange people, so I guess it works out. I can't imagine what Boise looks like right now. Because when I was leaving, it was like changing so much. Now it's already been 5 years. I was there for 10 years, and it's already been 5 years since I've been gone. That's half of the time I was. It's like crazy to think about how fast time goes by now. Time just flies by. That's great. Yeah, the Horror Fest is pretty cool. I mean, there's all these, people that come out from all your favorite movies and stuff to do it. I don't know which one. I want to say there was like one before the one I did or something, but I can't remember exactly how many there were. There's probably a lot more. I don't know. At any rate, it's super hot and I need to eat something and then chillax a little bit. So, I hope everybody has a wonderful night and be safe out there. Chew some bubble gum and kick some ass. I'd really appreciate it. Just do that for me. And other than that, I really appreciate the company, as usual. I appreciate the likes too. It's really cool. So, Dano Snore. Bye, Aaron. You gotta take care now. I love ya. I love ya.